Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic. I gotta be honest, I feel like somebody has it out for us. Yes, I know we lost weeks ago, but we've been winning ever since, and we keep dropping in the polls. I mean, for example, in the coaches poll last week, we were number 3. We ended up beating Wisconsin by 12. I know, not a lot, but we ended up beating them by 12, and then we drop, and Army passes us. I mean, for the record, we have wins against number 12 FSU, number 7 Miami. That's pretty good in my opinion. I get that Army is undefeated, but they have literally played San Jose State, FCS Southeast, Arizona State, Southern Mississippi, or Missouri, I don't really know, Cincy, and SMU. They played no one ranked, but still the goal is to be in the college football playoff rankings, and we're in the top 4 right now. So you have LSU, Boise State, Army, and Cascade Valley, followed by Georgia, Florida, Miami, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Clemson in your top 10. Texas is sitting in there. We're seeing the team up north at 14. We're seeing Penn State at 19, Alabama at 20. Alabama's kind of fallen off in recent years. We'll see what they can ultimately do. And then Vanderbilt and Iowa sitting there at 25 and 24. But if there is good news, that our guy Sean Stewart, still the number 1 ranked player for the Heisman voting at this point. You got a couple of running backs opposite that have been in there. We see Jenkins slide down a little bit, and then a quarterback finally comes back in the list, and Nick Moore from the University of Florida. And from a recruiting standpoint, there's not an insane amount of updates. We didn't actually sign any recruits last week, but we're getting some positive news. For Warren Forward, we went up a full 900 points. Literally no one has discovered this dude, and I'm so hyped that we are the team that has discovered him at this point. We're really close to getting a visit for him. Actually not really close, but we'll get there. But we are 1,700 points away after the 900 points last week. If we keep increasing like this and nobody else finds this dude, we're going to shoot up this dude's board in no time. Things are heating up for Antonio Vaughn. We see Arkansas having a really good week 5 visit a couple of weeks ago. We're in week 9 now. We've got a week 13 visit. Ole Miss is a week 14 visit, but I think trajectory wise, we're going to be fine and we'll surpass him, no problem. Garrett Neely is getting super difficult as well. So many teams are jumping up in the board of him. Arkansas had fallen out of the race. They jumped back into the race, doing up 1,110 points at this point. We are trying to make sure we get this guy, but it's going to be close. Make your decision soon and choose us. Willie Mouton is going to be in a really tough spot. His projected cutoff is only going to be 1 team. We're 2,100 points away. Maybe he won't choose the team immediately when he locks. Maybe we can sort of break that lock and get in there and maybe have a chance, but it's not looking good. The tight end Marquette Renee looks pretty solid for him. We're the number 1 team on his board. Sam Dees, we're still doing really well for him. Christoph Houston, if you don't remember him, this dude is the plus 13. This guy is going to be an absolute stud. I can't wait to get him there. Plus, he has good man in zone coverage for a linebacker and high block shed. But we are sitting absolutely pretty for him. Arizona State does have a week 12 visit. We're week 13, and then it looks like Eastern Michigan, I believe, is number 14, but we should be good for him. We also added this guy to our board, Isaac Reuter. He's a 70 overall athlete. I don't really know what exactly he's going to be, great at. He's got, pretty decent power move and finesse move, some block shedding in there, but he doesn't really have a lot of versatility. Maybe he plays linebacker, maybe he's a defensive end. We'll figure it out. But again, he could be a guy that maybe plays, maybe he doesn't. A lot of you guys have wanted an update on Cedric Thornton. He's having a really good year. He's at 16 touchdowns, 1,500 yards, only 4 interceptions. From a rushing standpoint, he's second in the team, barely, with 343 yards and 48 attempts, averaging 7 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. So he's having a really good year. Texas Tech, however, is not having a really great start. They're 3-2 in the season. They've had, honestly, not the year they probably thought they would. If you look at their schedule, they have losses to Troy and Toledo, so they're probably not going to be going bowling at any point soon this season. But you never know. They could win 6 games, get into a bowl, and be fine, but probably not the year Cedric Thornton thought he was going to have. Just getting this out of the way, we are on a different day, different shirt, everything, because we have some PC technical difficulties, but we're back against Nebraska, trying to get things going. They got the crowd hype, but we're even more hype right now with Sean Stewart's going to take the first carry and maybe go for 1. This Nebraska team is ranked 24 in the nation, but you can honestly think that this team is a top 5 team in the nation. They have all the talent in the world. They've just been struggling to put it together a little bit, something this Cascade Valley team can really, reckon with, because they've had issues like that too. McDonald threw a beautiful little strike there to Jeremy Willis. Stewart out of the backfield. Slides over here, looking for something, can't really find anything and loses 1. McDonald makes a quick little adjustment on 2nd and 11. And he gets hit pretty quickly for a loss of 10. McDonald got drilled pretty hard there. Big 3rd down coming. He's scrambling out. McDonald's got plenty of room, though. Defensive lineman chasing him. McDonald's got some room, and he gets out of bounds after getting 22 big yards. Minor's going to slide in motion, go right back to Sean Stewart. Hasn't really had a lot of carries today. Hasn't really had a lot of success in those small carries either. Big opportunity here, 2nd and 7. McDonald sees his guy. Who else but RJ Riley getting inside the 10 and down to about the 5 with 34 yards on that game. Here's where we want to be. McDonald takes the snap, Fakes the handoff, sees some room here, nearly gets where he wants. They say he's down at the 1. Second and goal, going right back to Sean Stewart, who's finally in the end zone. Has not had a lot of yards, maybe under 10 yards in the game, but that touchdown, it still counts. Look, we've seen what our offense can do, but what can their offense do against our defense right now? Romero back there, looking for something, throws a little comeback. Bernard Harvey there's immediately there to tackle Simpson. Little first down action, Fry watching the middle. They go on another comeback route. Simpson this time on the right-hand side of the field gets another 11 yards. Nebraska back in shotgun again. Romero's had a really good start to the game. Rutledge is trying to force him down, and Rutledge get literally a sack by pushing a dude into his own man. Big opportunity at 2nd and 14. Romero's going to tuck this one and run. We got no one even close to him. Mitchell's going to get there, hits him hard, but he still gets 14. Nebraska's having a really good drive so far. They slide Brown over in motion. Rutledge picks up a little bit. They're looking to stop this guy. Lowe gets over there. Lowe's going to make the tackle after 1. Playing the pass here at 2nd and 9. Romero goes a little bit of a read option here. We had Ward try to slide over. Fowler and company come in, and they make it 3rd and short. Nebraska only needs 3 yards at this point with 3 minutes left in the first. They throw a little side route, but George Fry is not having that, making the first incomplete pass of the day for Romero. Kind of a deep field goal right now for Nebraska. They're going to line up, see what their kicker's got. He's got a decent leg to him, and that one is great for distance, but not so much for accuracy. They're going to end up missing that one, staying down 7-0. I'll be honest, with as far right as that ball went, that kicker probably has somewhat of a career in Buffalo right now. What a route, though, by R.J. Riley for 11. Love what we're seeing right now from McDonald, 3 for 3, 60-plus yards so far. Sean Stewart, though, they're keying on him and making sure that dude doesn't have a lane to run in. We've got to get somewhat of a run game going right now, though. Single high safety for Nebraska. McDonald takes a snap, fakes a little handoff. Looking to push one out, probably threw it a little bit too early, but it felt like that safety was creeping up a little bit too quick. Big 3rd down opportunity. A lot of yards needed, though. Gonna risk one, and Quayle is gonna get that one. A big-time pick for Nebraska. They've got the ball back in midfield, and it was a risky pass. It just wasn't worth it. Plenty of time left in this game, still 1:30 in the first, and Nebraska's feeling good. George Fry misses the tackle, which is pretty rare, but Ward comes up to stop him after 10. Hunter Romero's had an incredible running start to the season. He's got almost 600 yards rushing in the season. I believe Sean Stewart has about 900 so far in the year. So you're already seeing what sort of effort this quarterback has put into the running game right now. And look at this fullback dropping 2 of our guys. Nebraska lost a lot of momentum, but they're finding it right back here. They go back to the run game. Mitchell slides in, but it's 6 yards again. Little cover 2 action here as the first quarter's winding down. Sapp slides back over. Big time missed tackle by Mitchell. Mitchell had him. Romero's going to keep moving, and Romero was going to go in the end zone. 26 yards later, they've evened the score right up. Romero's doing his best to become a household name after this game right now. He is Cascade Valley a little bit on edge, and look at the blocking from Cascade Valley. Sean Stewart has nowhere to go every time he touches the rock. 6 attempts, 1 yard for Sean Stewart. That is not exactly great. Sliding Minor over. Out of the backfield, Minor nearly got that ball knocked away from him, but he does get 7. McDonald's only incomplete pass today happens to be an interception, but he's going to keep moving forward. 5-star recruit's been showing a lot of resiliency. Gets one dumped off here to Sean Stewart. Sean Stewart has plenty of room to run. Sean Stewart trying to get out to the edge and throw on the Jets. Gets a stiff arm. He's still moving, and he's down at the 36-yard line. The play calling right now is absolutely incredible. You love to see that from Coach Mervin McMervin in Cascade Valley. This is a little risky, and no, we thought Stewart could come inside. Instead, the only person going inside is the corner to the ball. Nebraska gets a big-time interception that puts us in a big-time situation, and Romero refuses to go down yet again. Our goal in the Sean Stewart play was to try to come inside. Unfortunately, we went a little bit lower than what we wanted, and that just had no chance to actually get completed. Nebraska going back to this read option game, and it has just been killing us as Sapp goes up the middle for his largest run of the game. They haven't been passing an insane amount, so we're going to start to press cover a little bit more and key on that run. That's what's been hurting us. This little triple option, read option game they're going with, it's tough, but we can stop it. Stephen Lowe's going to be in a lot of QB spies so far this game. We've got to make sure that quarterback does not get out loose again. Speaking of the quarterback, look at that. Lowe right on top of him, ready to go. This is the question we have for Nebraska. Can they beat us through the air? We've seen what they can do a little bit through the air, but can they do it enough? And apparently they can. What a route by Brown. Had our guys looking in shambles. I'll be honest, we've missed him a lot these last few weeks, but this is one of those games where you definitely miss Mike Hemphill a whole lot. Run up the middle. Hit by Hill, but that goes for almost a gain of a first down. Second down here, barely any yards to go. They stay in shotgun. Feels like the run's coming. It definitely is, and there's Sapp just continuing to pummel the rock down the middle. Our squad's biggest issue, though, is themselves. If we can just stop turning the rock over, we will be just fine, and we've got to get to the quarterback like we are there as Kendall Owens gets a big stop for a loss of 4. A little bit of a heavier front should make it more difficult for them to run the football, and we got Jonas Shackelford saying, "You ain't running up the middle on me." Our guys doing their best job to try to stay in front. Needing a big stop here. They go there. Shackelford doesn't get the incomplete pass knocked away, but he does make a stop to make it 4th and 3. Now, Nebraska's kicker a little bit on the hot seat. He missed one earlier. This one's a whole lot easier. Will his accuracy be any better than what it was earlier? Baker's going to jump up. This ball is kicked to the left. That one is up the middle, and Nebraska takes the lead for the first time in today's game. If we're going to win this game in hostile territory in Nebraska with our freshman quarterback who's been a little bit razzled, we've got to get this run game going, which means Sean Stewart needs some better blocking in front of him. And believe me, the passing game is still super important, but it's not going to be important if we're not going to be able to have a balanced game attack. Stewart finds some room and again gets the job done. Back-to-back big games will take it. Little first down here. 3 minutes left in the first half. It's been a tough one for Cascade Valley. McDonald's out here rolling, sees a little bit, gets hit hard, but good Lord, he holds on to it. 2 high safeties though, one is creeping up a little bit. Baker comes back over. He tried this a little bit earlier, didn't really work out in our favor. Here we're gonna go, and we nearly get the ball pitched out, but they catch us from behind and make it 3rd and short. The one positive note we've had today is that we've been really good on 3rd down conversions. It's 3rd and 3. Needed to get something here, and they immediately get to McDonald, making it 4th and long. Coach Mervin McMervin put the punt team out, called a timeout, brought him back out, called a timeout, and here we are. Going for it on 4th down. Only needing 6 yards. They get to McDonald immediately. No blocking, nothing. We've turned it over. This is definitely one of those Cascade Valley games where we're going to need the defense to step up and be big. 2 minutes left. In the first half, Nebraska with a 3-point lead. They're feeling pretty good. The quarterback throws it away, rightfully so. We had everybody covered. The big thing here, though, we want to see how much they're actually going to stick to the passing game versus the run with a little bit of time left on the clock. They go underneath. Fry, though, is ready and makes it 3rd and short. I got to be honest, it feels like only so much longer before Nebraska's going to cough this football up. The way they're getting hit like this, they cannot keep it up. If their quarterback just keeps finding room like that, it won't matter. They're fighting for first downs. Stephen Lowe staying in pretty much an all-time QB spy for most of these plays in this drive. They throw underneath. Fowler's there, and he ends up getting to Kenny Sapp, who's been everywhere today. Nebraska does use their first time out. They got 2 left right now with 2nd and 6 coming up. The quarterback's out here running. Jonas Shackelford whiffs. This dude is still going. He throws Fry to the ground, and Hunter Romero's trying to get himself a Heisman right now. We're on the ropes. This is a big moment. We got a minute left. We only have 1 timeout because we got a little not so smart when using our timeouts earlier on that punt that we went for that didn't work out in our favor. You've got to be kidding me. This is getting worse. Nebraska's got an opportunity here. 2 timeouts, plenty of time on the clock to at least get a field goal, if nothing else. They are in the driver's seat. Under 50 left, Nebraska 1 timeout left. They go back with the run. We got multiple guys there, though, to get a stop after 4. Feels like a pass play is coming up. We're obviously trying to watch that. Their quarterback's going to run. We got guys there. We make them a stop. Okay, 4th and inches. We'll take it. Holding them to a field goal here feels like a giant W, considering they were, basically the driver's seat. We're now going to have enough time, even with this going in, to have an opportunity to maybe get a field goal if we play our cards right. As a reminder, we only had 2 quarterbacks on roster this season. One of them is injured for a couple more weeks. McDonald, again, the true freshman, really getting thrust out there with the thick of it. It happens. Going at halftime, we're down 13. This is not exactly where I thought we'd be, but we've got to do better. 1 touchdown in the first half. We're not playing like a top 4 team in the nation. Now, Nebraska had the ball to start. They don't really do much with it, so we have the rock with 7 minutes left in 3rd quarter. We got to turn our luck around a little bit. It has been not great in that play, just shows it why it hasn't been. We cannot get a block to save our lives. McDonald's having one of the worst games he's had. He was showing so much promise, some ill-advised throws, some bad play calls that's put him in, honestly, a really bad spot. Here again, the young man's got to get rid of it. Opportunity here in 3rd and 10 is to try to make a play. See one, we got one, and Anthony Minor gets a big 22-yard grab. Big first down here. McDonald has a little bit more confidence, and he had a couple of plays to go. Gets one to Tom Baker across the middle. Tom Baker is moving on him inside the 20. It's not what happens, it's how you respond. And right now, McDonald's responded really well. Bringing Riley across, a little bit delayed. Oh, Minor wide open. Love to see it. What a throw. Anthony Minor showing up big. 2 big catches on this drive and 1 that just got us back within a touchdown. Hey, some might say Patrick McDonald has that dog in him right now. You'd love to see how he responded on that drive. Has not been a pretty game for him, but we're only down 6 now thanks to a heck of a touchdown throw that he got to Anthony Minor. 2nd and inches. Feels like a run's coming. They end up going with a wide receiver screen. Fowler's going to get to him, but he does get enough to make Simpson have the first down. This is not good. We actually have Kendall Owens in coverage. You don't love to see that. They exploit that immediately. I don't know what we were doing, but Kendall Owens cannot be in coverage. I mean, we're talking a defensive lineman trying to cover a slot receiver. That's going to end poorly every single time. Even though Owens has some good speed to him and some good agility, that dude is not supposed to be covering that sort of position. Things still getting pretty crazy here. Bass, we haven't really seen much from today. Gets a cut block thrown on him. What a play by Matthew Fowler, but I would like to see 2 hands and an interception instead. Even though Nebraska has the lead, they just haven't really been good on third downs. That being said, we'll see what happens here. I believe they're 2 for 6 on the afternoon. What a big hit. Chris Bass, we just talked about not showing up, gets a big tackle for loss to make sure Nebraska can't go for a touchdown here. Now, while we say that, they actually say they're going to go for one right here. So we're going to have Owens switch things up a little bit. They go underneath. You gotta be kidding me. How can our team continuously just give up big play after big play, especially on 4th down? Stephen Lowe going back to his QB spy. Fry trying to get in there. George Fry, though, is going to make a good stop here at the line. This is really the most our team has had their back against the wall in a long time. Fry threatening. Fry goes there, but a couple of guys were able to stop him. That's only a gain to 2 by Simpson. Our guys have got to get a big stop here. Playing the pass the whole way. Low patrol in the middle. He's usually great there. They're throwing one. Bernard Harvey. Bernard Harvey doesn't even jump forward. And Robbie Vaughn gets a touchdown to put him up big. We're in a tough environment. We've got a lot of young players. We got a lot of old players. And we're trying to make sure we have an opportunity still for greatness this season. And right now, some guys got to step up. Tom Baker looks like he's stepping up, though. A great little play there. Tom Baker has one and drops that one immediately, however. So 3rd and 1, Nebraska. Bringing some big fellas up there, but Sean Stewart don't care. Sean Stewart gets that first down at 7. Stewart definitely having one of his worst games of the season. 10 rushes, 24 yards in total, which is not what you expect from a dude who's up for the top of the Heisman. He had Minor potentially there. McDonald, though, does see Stewart come back, and Stewart gets a big reception for 30 yards. This Cascade Valley team has had some really rough times so far in today's game, but you cannot count them out of this afternoon's ball game. Baker sliding back over the backfield. Little fake here. McDonald's going to hold on to him. McDonald's trying to stretch it a little bit. McDonald's is inside the 15. We'll take it. There was a lot of talk about McDonald going into halftime, and he responded really, really well so far. But we need more. Sean Stewart, excuse me, not Sean Stewart Williams in the game for a gain of 3. McDonald back here again. He's going to keep on. McDonald looking to get in the end zone. And, hey, Patrick McDonald, 10-yard touchdown run again. This lead is back into single digits, which is where we need it. Cascade Valley desperately needs somebody on defense to step up big for us right now. Force the turnover, make some plays happen, and just keep this quarterback from hurting us. But again, it's a double-digit run for Hunter Romero, who has been the MVP of today's game by far. Wait a second. Hunter Romero actually just got injured on that play, so we're not seeing Romero in at quarterback. We're seeing their backup quarterback, who we don't really have any idea what his skill set is. But apparently he's going to try to run, but he's not going to be nearly as fast as Ramirez gets taken down after 6. It's like Romero just had the wind knocked out of him, but that's huge. If we can get a stop on this drive, we'll see what our squad can ultimately do. They go with the run, and again, it's Sapp, who we haven't seen from in a while, but it's 16 yards later, and we're hurting. You hate to see that. George Fry had an opportunity to make a tackle on the backfield. He just couldn't get it, and he's honestly missed a whole lot of tackles this afternoon. Ramirez still in the game. No sign of Romero yet. We need to stop, though. They go up the middle, and it's just pancake after pancake. Amaro goes for 7. Trying our best to see what we can do here. Heavy defensive line the start of the 4th quarter. Watching the running back out of the backfield. Fry gets to him, but no one is there to help him out. You're going to see Sapp go all the way down inside the 10, and it's 25 more yards. Cascade Valley has them on the ropes, so they cannot put their foot down. Ramirez has been leading a fantastic drive, considering you didn't expect this dude to be in there, and that pass is hidden by Bernard Harvey's helmet, but he cannot get his hands on it. See what our guys can do on 2nd and goal. Vaughn slides into the backfield. They've been putting a lot of wide receivers back there. They pitched one over. We got our guys here. DeMel Hill makes somewhat of a tackle stop. We see what Shackelford can do. Shackelford pushes him out of bounds or gets pushed down, but he sees him go out of bounds. But now there's another injury. This time it's the number 87 for Nebraska. 4 for 9 on 3rd down. This is big. Holding him to a field goal would make this still a 2-possession game, but it makes it a little bit easier. They throw one. DeMel Hill is there. He gets the interception. We're in the driver's seat, but he doesn't, and it's 4th and goal. We haven't blocked a field goal maybe in school history. This would be a great time for it. Going up. This one is going to be good. It's down the middle. It's a 9-point lead with 7:22 left. We got some work to do. McDonald and company know we need a really good drive. This drive here has to be a touchdown and probably a 2-point conversion. Sean Stewart will take the 5. Safety's creeping up in the box. Patrick McDonald's rolling out a little bit. We like what we're seeing. Hey, we'll take the first down and plenty more, and he's out of bounds safely. McDonald, 59 yards rushing, a touchdown, obviously, in one of those previous drives. but we need more. Another safety coming up in the box. They know we're going to a lot of runs here, but it's fine. McDonald, though, can't quite get rid of that one. Wasn't worth the risk of pitching it and possibly fumbling. Second down here. McDonald again in shambles, and he just got to chuck it and get rid of it. The unsung hero, I think, in today's game has just been the pass rush from what we've seen from Nebraska. They have been everywhere and anywhere today, and we are struggling to stop it. An opportunity here, and McDonald overthrows Furtney. One of the toughest decisions we've made is punting the football here. It doesn't feel right, but honestly, it feels like the smart move here. If we go for it and don't get it, the game's absolutely over. If we get a stop here or force a turnover, there's potential in this game right now. And we just saw Hunter Romero get flipped upside down, and the first sack, I think, of this afternoon happens there. It's going to be second sack by Rutledge. Obviously, the first sack that Rutledge had earlier in today's game was one where he pushed an offensive lineman into Hunter Romero, but we haven't really seen a sack since that point. Shackelford, Jonas Shackelford has the football. He's in the end zone, ladies and gentlemen. We got a ball game. Oh, things just got wild for Nebraska. I was sick over the fact that we had to punt that football, but it feels like it was the right decision now. Shackelford goes in, makes the biggest play of his young career, and because of that, all of a sudden, Nebraska, even though a 13-yard run happened, they've got to be nervous. The important part as well is that a field goal will absolutely give us the lead right now, which is monstrous. 5 minutes left, though, in the game. Nebraska looking for something. They throw an out route. They got guys everywhere, and we still don't get the first stop. Kendall Owens ends up having to be in coverage here. Don't exactly love this package. They do go for a run. We got a couple of guys there, including Owens, though, and they stop him after one. Kenny Sapp is a single yard away from having 100 on the afternoon. It just feels crazy to me. 2nd and 9, Nebraska's bringing Morgan in the backfield. Whole lot of misdirection. Romero is breaking tackle after tackle. Would love to see a fumble, but that dude is helping this team get over 250 rush yards on the afternoon. George Fry is going to be in a QB spy here. Bass looking to try to get in the backfield. Big time hits. Excuse this dude. Hello? That might be one of the most ridiculous plays I've seen. Change the direction, pitch to the ball. I don't know how Nebraska still held on to that one after all that. We're trying to get our guys over there. Shackelford can't make the tackle. You're kidding me. Some little dude the size of Wes Welker is going to go into the end zone. And it's now going to be a 9-point game after this extra point. We're in shambles. 3:26 left. We have all of our timeouts. We're still technically in this game, albeit difficult. We're still in this game. Nice little comeback route here, a little curl route. We're going to see Baker pick up 16. Offense going to the hurry up here. McDonald rolling out, sees his guy, hits Willis for the easy about 9 yards. The important thing here for the team is to make sure we get out of bounds whenever we possibly can. We want to make sure we stop that clock and don't have to use our timeouts because good Lord, we might need him on defense. McDonald, though, sees a guy and he throws it. It's going to be intercepted, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is probably going to seal the deal. We thought we had a guy open. It looked like we were going to get him on the throw, but the throw was under. And Nebraska picks off for the 4th time today. 9-point ball game. Nebraska obviously going to be trying to chew the clock as much as they can. They're going with runs pretty much nonstop here. We just got to force a turnover and get a little lucky. 2nd down and 4 again. Romero, who's been helping lead the charge, hands it off to Sapp, who has just been making a mockery of this defense. This team has been built to stop the passing game, and the running game is something that we've struggled with at times. We've lost a lot of our core interior linemen, and it shows. Our guys don't know who is running the ball, when they're running the ball. We are struggling to make tackles, and we're letting a dude named Hunter Romero run for an insane amount of yards. It's also one of those games where we haven't really brought up his name much, but Joe Kendrick would have been huge, I think, in this game. He's a little bit more poised. He's been in these situations, a little bit better arm strength. McDonald will be a fine QB at some point. It's just going to be tough for a true freshman to go into Nebraska and win in moments like this one, especially when you're going to ask them to be down this early on. His interceptions definitely cost us. The defense giving up run after run definitely cost us. The inability to tackle has definitely cost us. And Nebraska is getting their signature win of this season. At some point this season, we had to know that a game like this is going to happen. On the road, with adversity, and could we stop the run? The answer to that, unfortunately, was no. Romero goes for 140 on the ground, 140 through the air, 150 on the ground, and embarrass our defense every single which way they could look. It's humbling. Recapping the stats, definitely one of the worst games for McDonald that he's had. 2 touchdowns. He had 1 touchdown late to Brandon Rebels. 4 interceptions ultimately today. 291 yards. Just the turnovers are what are going to kill us. In the history of Cascade Valley, quarterbacks that turn the ball over typically have major issues here. On the ground, Sean Stewart, 12 for 34. We see McDonald go for 70 with 1 touchdown for each of those guys. In the air, we see Anthony Minor, 5 grabs, 86 yards, and a touchdown. The only other touchdown we had today was by Brandon Rebels, who again got one late, for 16 yards. And then defensively, not a lot to be happy about. Demel Hill had 6 tackles. He missed a lot of stuff today. Kendall Owens was playing every which way, which I will give him props for how well he played this afternoon, despite being thrown out into coverage. From a sack perspective, we only saw 2 today. 2 by Tony Rutledge, 1 pushing an offensive lineman into the guy, the other one being traditional. Interceptions, we had 1 by Jonas Shackelford, which really brought us right back into this game, but no one else in our secondary, including Matthew Fowler, could get the job done. Losses like this definitely suck, and they are difficult, but they are incredibly important because we have a question we have to ask ourselves at this stage. It's going to be, are we going to be a good team or are we going to be a great team? A good team maybe wins most of their games the rest of the season, maybe drops a loss or 2. A great team, though, finds ways to bounce back. We still have number 1 LSU on our schedule, and if we can go ahead and win out the rest of our games, including the LSU game, a shot at the college football playoffs is still technically possible. But if we play like we did today, we may be lucky to make it into a bowl game and win that one, if anything. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.